Now to some breaking news. A mother and her boyfriend are under arrest tonight in connection with a case of 3 boys left abandoned in an apartment with the remains of their younger brother.
This is our first look at Gloria Williams and Brian Coulter, both facing multiple charges. And tonight, we are learning more about the little boy who had been dead for about a year.
Lauren Tallarico is live at the jail with the update on this awful, awful case. Lauren?
Len and Mia, we now know that the boyfriend is charged with the murder of this little boy, who we now know was 8 years old at the time that he died. The mother is facing several charges here, including injury to a child by omission and tampering with evidence. In this case, a corpse. Now, there are a lot of questions, like how did these 3 children live for so long, allegedly abandoned, while their brother's remains decomposed in the next room? Here's what we've uncovered so far. Here's a look at Brian Coulter and Gloria Williams, charged in connection to a case that has shocked so many. It was this past Sunday that a 15-year-old boy living inside an apartment off Greencrest Drive called the Harris County Sheriff's Office asking for help. He said he and his 2 siblings, 11 and 7 years old, had been abandoned here in the same apartment where his 8-year-old brother had been dead for a year. Alief ISD confirms the children had attended the district but hadn't been in school since May of 2020. They also say their mother, Gloria Williams, was listed as the sole custodian. Investigators say the surviving children were malnourished when found, surviving off food the mother would occasionally bring over. And neighbors we spoke to said they had given them food too, but had no idea how bad things were inside that apartment. CPS says that tonight those kids are in foster care. As for the skeletal remains of that 8-year-old boy, the medical examiner lists the cause of death as homicide, citing multiple blunt force injuries. We are expecting the mother and boyfriend to be in court over the next several hours. Of course, we will keep you updated on this very sad and disturbing story. Reporting live from the Harris County Jail.
As long as we live in a global system of white supremacy, things like this should be expected. I'm going to share some comments about this tragic expected situation. So we see the Black female victim here, victim mother, failed parent. And we can see she has been definitely traumatized and victimized to the state where she has blue hair. I don't think this blue hair is natural. I don't think this is a natural hair. She has been directly captured by this white man, Brian Coulter. And notice how during the news clip, it did not say that Brian Coulter was the father. I suspect the father is a Black male. And I suspect the Black male may have been driven away or left the victim unit, and this Black female found herself a white captor. And then the white man had no problem killing one of the Black male children. Notice it was 4 victim children involved, all Black boys. And this is why Neely Fuller in his word guide has a definition of the devastated people. Use this term to apply mostly to Black males because we have been devastated the most under the system of white supremacy. Of course, the Black female is right there at the bottom with us, but the system allows her more protection versus the Black male. Notice again, 4 Black male children were involved. One of them died dead for over a year, decomposed, and a dwelling. And I read in a number of articles saying, how could this happen? And it happened because we live in a system of white supremacy, and Black children have no value in a system of white supremacy. White people do not care about children, and they have given that insane programming, conditioning, thinking patterns to non-white people, especially Black people. It just goes to show you the dangers of when you are a victim of racism, a person classified as Black, and you allow yourself to be captured by a white man or a white woman. I say all the time, it can only lead you to a grave psych ward or prison, aka greater confinement. So I'm sure, and at one point in time, these people were released, but I suspect they're maybe back in custody. But I don't think if this happened to white children that they would have been released at all. But Black children have no value in the system of white supremacy. So what's to be learned from this story? Stay away from white people, especially if you're going, especially in regards to Area 8 sex. There's no reason a victim of racism, prisoner of war, should be having sex, pretending that they're having sex while it's actually rape. There's no reason for a powerless person to want to be with the person that has made them powerless. The system of white supremacy is maintained by persons who classify themselves as white. And this is the effect of white supremacy. You know, Black females and Black males often look silly, stupid, and pitiful. This is not by natural design. This is by a sophisticated system that has retarded us. And if you think I'm using that word incorrectly, look up the definition of retardation and let me know if you think that doesn't apply to the non-white collective of planet Earth, because I suspect it does, because we have been severely retarded, traumatized, and victimized. And the proof is in the pudding. All you have to do is look around and see what's happening on planet Earth. And whenever there's Black people involved, you can expect incorrect things are happening because that is by design. Persons who classify themselves as white have set up a system designed to keep us mistreated and in a powerless, pitiful state. I hope the 3 surviving Black male children grow up to be attempted counter-racist scientists so they are able to help solve this problem, because I suspect this Black female will not. And I suspect this white man will not be the people who are helping to solve this problem. This Black female is simply a victim, pitiful, attempted mother, failed mother. I read articles that say that she was delivering food every now and then, but that doesn't make it any better. There was a neighbor who reported the smell of the rotting corpse, but I guess they lived in an area where there was mostly Black people, so no one really cared. No one really paid too much attention, because wherever the niggers are, you can expect things like this to happen. So I'm sure this white man had no problem beating her Black child to death and then enjoying raping her while pretending it was sex for over a year, which is the duration of this situation. So suggestions: work to eliminate the system of white supremacy, because as long as we live in a system of white supremacy, things like this should be expected. CRWS 0526 signing out.